great options for kids. Racetrack as well, because of the updates that need done. We went with a camper van. $15 a night, and that's for full hookups. Get the D for drive. Your comment. They've got a little museum and stuff down there. The dolly was swaying a little bit. That saves you quite a bit of money. The tornado threw that truck. We're having a little issues with... I made a mistake of not checking. I clipped each end of the wires.
I remember it as a kid.
This is going to be a trick shot. This place that we're staying at is actually a really good option for a lot of people. That is right along Interstate 80 if you're passing through Des Moines, Iowa. Very good place to stop. It's got great options for kids and great options for adults, and we'll tell you why. So now I'm going to tell you why this is such a great location. For one, you have the Flying J Travel Center. Woo, it's a winner. And then you have Interstate 80 right there where you can see the cars crossing behind the McDonald's. And then you have Adventureland Amusement Park, the trolley that comes in and picks up everybody from the campgrounds. You have a hotel for Adventureland. And you have Prairie Meadows Casino, racetrack as well. In between the casino and the hotel, you have the entrance to Adventureland RV Resort. You see Jethro's Barbecue on the left, and then the Prairie Meadows Casino entrance. Right here before the casino, there is a small sign right there for the campground. Go straight ahead right here, and it'll take you right to check-in. Pretty self-explanatory places to pull in when you check in. Campground office is right here. And then behind the campground office, they have a pond that you can fish at. You see a lot of people fishing there. Up here at the clubhouse, they do have a little playground here. Michelle and I have lived in this area for many years before we went full-time. And this campground's been here a very long time, and it's in need of some updates. The sites are just fine, no issues with any hookups, nothing like that. Some sites are better than others, just like any other place you go to. A lot of concrete for such a small pool, but as you can tell, the fence kind of needs some updating. There is laundry facilities in here, and they have games. Now the video games are not free. We have not used the restroom facilities because they're actually all out of order right now because of the COVID-19. So unfortunately we're unable to show you those, but the last time we were here last year they were not updated. So I'm doubtful that they are now. Now a lot of places, the dog parks, if you've noticed, seem to be clear to one end of your campground. Well, here the dog park is actually located in the center of the campground, and it's separated by two sides, one with a tall fence and one with a shorter fence for small and large dogs. That's really nice. I would give it a 2.5 to 3. Probably more of a 3 for appearance because of the updates that need done. Locality and convenience to everything, I'd give it the full 5-star. We're gonna go with stars, yeah. Not thumbs up, stars. Stars sounds good. this road right here is the road to the campgrounds, and you'd actually have to walk around the fence to get to the casino. But the casino's right here. And also, if you get here a day early from your check-in, they allow RVs to park next to the semis. That's pretty handy too, right next door. The casino is a pretty good sized casino with a nice racetrack as well. When you look online at their rates, keep in mind if you stay 2 weeks or longer, you get the campsite for $20, which is $21.40 after tax per night. So that's not a bad deal at all for full hookups, 50 amp service, water and sewer. If you want to try to get the site where we're at, it's Y22. You've got a lot of space out here. Some of those areas out here are for tents, but you hardly ever see tents out here. There was one way back there earlier this week, but that's it. But again, that's Y, as in yo-yo, 22. So the campground's right here, and then the amusement park is right next door. One of the things Michelle and I is doing here on our last day is we're going through a bunch of stuff, getting rid of all the things that we don't need. After about a year and a half, you kind of realize that you took way too much stuff. If we do decide to downsize, that'll just make things a lot easier. If we decide to get a truck, then we'll store a bunch of stuff in the back of the bed. If by chance we went with a camper van or something like that, I don't know, we might have to get rid of stuff. We had a pull-in site this time. Not all their sites are this way. This trip is going to probably be about 4.5 to 5 hours. Don't forget those city parks. You've got your state parks, national parks, all that, but and your Corps of Engineers also that you can stay at. But the city parks sometimes can be a great option. This place that we're going, they only charge $15 a night, and that's for full hookups. Don't forget to check those city parks. Michelle doesn't know it yet, but I'm gonna have her, hopefully she'll go along with it, just drive straight. It's a good starting point. At least she's behind the wheel, put it in gear. All she has to do is go straight, get rid of at least a little bit of that fear, hopefully. I'm gonna have you drive just straight down.
What?
Yeah, just.
Okay.
All we're gonna do is just go straight. That way it just gets you
Can I go to the bathroom real quick?
Did that just make you have to go? Yeah, push it in. It goes hard. Now keep your foot on the brake. Now, now hit the D for drive.
Why does it say 61?
That's just the gear. All right.
Nothing
Look in your mirrors. Nothing coming. Okay, let go. Now go ahead and hit the brake so you know how hard it is. Right, whoop.
Whoa,
okay.
It's touchy.
Well, up there it is. Only at the top. That's where you get your leverage. If you push lower, it feels like you're not going to stop. Now you watch your car too. Good job.
The steering wheel is so easy. Trolley's behind us.
It is?
Yeah.
Well, that was bad timing, trolley. There you go. Pull back. You did it!
Yay!
High five.
I can't get out of the seat though.
One of the car tires mysteriously had 10 pounds extra of air overnight. Only one tire, not that whole side, like it's been in the sun heating up or something, and that's 10 pounds. That was really strange, so I had to let some air out of it. I still think Michelle needs a round of applause. I'm proud of you, sweetie.
Oh yay, I drove 5 miles an hour.
Go you! Michelle's actually working on your comment. Whose comment are you working on right now, Michelle?
Kimberly Shalaby. She just found our latest video and gave us a great comment. We thank you for that, Kimberly.
Michelle was reading them off to me, and we kind of gang up and work together on these. Quite a while before we come back to Des Moines again. We're excited for our next adventure, though. Little fun fact, Winterset, Iowa is the birthplace of who? John Wayne. If you're going along Interstate 80, take a stroll down. They've got a little museum and stuff down there. Worth a stop by. We had the strap come off of the dolly one time on our very first trip back over a year and a half ago when we were going to, it was our maiden voyage trip. And I noticed in the rear view camera, the dolly was swaying a little bit. Sometimes it's really hard to tell when it's really windy out like it is today. You can see the trees. We've got 20+ mile-an-hour winds. Well, I thought I saw the dolly swaying a little bit, so I thought I'd better check. And I think it's the wind, and it appears like that's what it is. Figured I better check though. We're all good. You can probably tell how windy it is with my hair blowing in the air. It's like going all crazy.
How were the dolly straps?
They were good.
Good.
We typically average about 9.5 miles per gallon. And we're averaging 9.3 today.
Really? With the wind?
With the wind. Not too bad. We got the wind coming at our side here, but when we turn up here, Highway 29, Interstate 29, we'll have the wind behind us, so maybe we'll get like 40 miles per gallon. It doesn't hurt to wish. We did get over 11. Remember that? We were leaving Florida, we were averaging like 11.1. That was really crazy. We might want to check the TSD fuel prices when we get up by Sioux City, maybe top it off, because we're going to be in a kind of a small town area out in the country, and there won't be any cities when we leave there. Not a lot of fuel stops, big fuel stations like, you know, Petro, TA, and Love's. If you get a TSD card, it really helps. It saves you quite a bit of money. It can. The savings fluctuate a lot. The most we've gotten so far, we were over $1 a gallon savings. It's been much lower also, but that was the most that we saved. I think we saved like $60-some or something like that on that fill up. We have a link down in our description below the video. Tell them Livin Our Vision sent you. We would appreciate it. Gonna fight this wind some more.
Plus, it's very hot today. It's like 95.
Okay. I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive.
Going past a little town here called Little Sioux, Iowa. Brings back some memories when I was working in disaster recovery back in 2008. There was a tornado that crossed across this Interstate 29 here. There was some Boy Scouts over in the hills way over there. The tornado crossed over and went through those hills, and the Boy Scout troop was staying in a cabin, and that tornado went up and down those hills, and this cabin sit on the back side of that one of those hills there, and 3 boys went and hid next to a fireplace There was a little like Chevy S10, I believe it was, or a Ford Ranger, I can't remember, but it was a smaller pickup truck that was sitting off to the side, and the tornado threw that truck right through the cabin and killed the 3 boys. It was a very sad time. All the parents went to Little Sioux. The way they found out if their children was alive or not, they called out their names one by one when their children was okay, and until it got down to the last 3 parents, which had to have been tough because they had all of them had already heard that there were 3 kids that did not survive, but they didn't know who. So that's how they found out about their children. That's really horrible. And that was one of the sites that I had to that I was assigned to. It was long after it happened, but I could see the aftermath. There was nothing left of that cabin at all, and the truck was still there. You could tell it had rolled, and it was just mangled all the way around. But very sad story. I can't drive through here without thinking about that every single time. Over a decade now, Michelle and I have made many trips up this road. We're going to be going by Lamars, Iowa, where the Blue Bunny ice cream capital of the world.
And of course we've been there.
Yeah, but we're going to be going past the edge of town, and we're not going to be going right by Blue Bunny. Darn. Getting close to supper time anyway. Might have to make a trip over there.
Has that ever stopped us before?
It hasn't stopped you, I know that. Well, we're having a little issues with the RV Life app, the GPS on it. We both have the same app running, the same settings. We're on an interstate that where we're at right now is the closest to our destination. And Michelle's GPS is taking us a different route than mine is. Same app, same settings, everything. Hopefully there will be some sort of a software, firmware update, something, and I'm bouncing up and down. This is a bumpy road. Anyway, I thought we should tell you.
We were young and we were free and running, never bothered about what could be coming. Every day we danced and life was smiling. We were young and drunk in love. A few years later I have started thinking, if it's just love in every glass I'm drinking, we're like one and without you I'm sinking. I'm always shining next to you. Oh, I got you, there's no reason to chasing pavement on my own, 'cause you're here to stay every night and day. I'm delighted 'cause I got you.
I have always been afraid of changes, but you show me life is full of faces.
This is where we ended up, in a city park. There's some other camping spots over there. I think they're a little nicer than they are here where we're at, but this'll do. Full hookups, $15 a day. When we got here, I made a mistake of not checking one of these sites first, so we pulled in and the water spigot was busted. So that didn't do any good. We had to pull out of there. That's my fault that I didn't check first. It's broken there. But they do have new pedestals, and they have a Frisbee golf course here, which I do have some Frisbees for Frisbee golf. I haven't played for years. Well, the last time we pulled in here, last year, we pulled in, put the step motor out, and the step motor went bad. This time we pulled in, the driver's seat would not go anywhere. So I come out to the fuse panel. The fuse panel is right here. Found the fuse on number 24. I think, oh, maybe, you know, the fuse went bad. So I went to put a fuse in, and as soon as that fuse touched the prongs, zap, it threw a spark and blew the fuse. So I knew there's a bad ground somewhere. Something's crossed, and I was hoping it wasn't the inside the little controller of the power seat. Let me show you what it was. So what happened was a wire with the fuse got under here, and as you can see, when I tilt this, it crunched it. So it was really hard to see because the seat was in the road. I clipped each end of the wires, tied it together just so that I could give it power, and then I went out and put a fuse in, and that gave it power, so I knew for sure that was it. And then I just lifted the seat up until this came free. This is fused to help protect one of the motors. So what I can do is I can go get a new fused link here and then just put it back on here. It will work like that, but it's unprotected without that fuse on there. But yeah, you gotta love those easy fixes. That's one of those things that you don't know if you go take it to somebody to get fixed and you're not around them when they're fixing it. They can take their time, or they can charge you at least an hour. A lot of them have a minimum hour. It still would have been a costly repair for something really simple. And that's just it. It's only simple if you know what you're looking for, right? So that's why I wanted to share that with you. It could be anything. It may not be the same thing. It may not be a wire pinched under there, but look for any wires that may be rubbing and touching metal. That would do it too. Or like what happened here, a wire got pinched underneath something. So before that even happens, I would highly recommend, and I should have done this, take your wires and make sure they have plenty of play so that when you're moving your chair forward and backward, it's not going to pull one of the wires and pull something loose and cause you another problem. But yet you want them zip tied up or something so that they're out of the way and they're not dangling by any of those moving parts that could pinch the wires. And especially the ones on the front and back tilt, because that's where it can really get smashed if it gets under there. Wires are not always in the right position, even from factory. For instance, our hot water heater, the tankless hot water heater, before we installed it, I looked around inside there and there were wires touching like some areas that were going to get really hot. So, man, the bugs in Iowa are horrible. I went in and took some zip ties and tied off those wires. Otherwise, there's a good chance that they were going to get burnt. So don't always trust factory.
Frisbee golf, anyone?
Sure. Michelle's mom came over for a little bit this afternoon while we were working and chit-chatted. She had a busy night tonight. We don't know what to do with ourselves other than work. Michelle decided she wants to learn Frisbee golf. It's pretty windy.
It's very windy.
It's not a good time to learn when it's windy like this.
When we were younger, we used to sit on the grass
Michelle's first throw.
among the flowers. We just let the days pass by. People would tell us to get a grip on
just take a
ourselves
mulligan?
and get a job. We didn't care what we were told, cause when we were younger, we used to sit on the grass and go, damn, I don't wanna grow old. I wish I could turn back time.
This is going to be a trick shot.
Oh, this rocket slide is like so old. Well, it's older than me, so that's really old. I remember it as a kid. Can't believe it's still here.
Stay up all night singing songs on the terrace. We didn't mind sitting out in the cold. It was impossible to make us embarrassed. We were free when we were 17. When we were 17. Let's call it a day.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, click that little bell, and hit that thumbs up. See you next week.